Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto Channel. Thanks for being here this morning, guys. It is a beautiful day here in the Mississippi. It is bright and sunny and a little cold, though. I say a little cold. I know a lot of you folks are like probably negative 30 degrees. We're like 40 degrees right now, and it's pretty dang cold. How's everyone this morning? Who we got in chat? Let me know about the music. I turned it up yesterday for the VIP live stream, and I don't think I turned it back down. If it's too loud, too soft, somebody let me know. I'll turn it down just a little bit. But y'all let me know. How's everyone? It's a good day, right? It's Friday. It's finally Friday. Let's see what we got. If anybody has any different music from the YouTube library, audio library, you want me to play on the stream, send it to me in Discord, or however you send things, and I will gladly add it to the list. They have a lot of stuff in there, and I don't know what everybody likes, so we just have a handful of things, but I'm certainly open to whatever you guys want to listen to. Let's go with the old traditional. All right, let's see what we got in here. Thanos, Buenos Dias, crew. What's up, bro? My main man, Max. Big Max. Max Flexion. John, morning. John, the moderator. Salt Chain. Hey, Carrie Benz. Nice to see you. Carrie Benz was on. For those of you that don't know, we do some VIP Discord live stream trading from time to time, a couple times a week usually, and or more. And she was in there killing it yesterday. Good job. Carrie says, it's 80 degrees here. It'll get to 90. I need to come where you are. Where are you? I need to be in that part of the world. You're in, gosh, you told me already. I should remember this. I know it's not Bangladesh. John says there's 20 here in Michigan. West Coast, there he is, West Coast. Guys, we got a big old bullseye on. There's a poll in chat. I'm super curious. I'm curious every day as to your opinion, but I'm really curious as to this poll here. So be sure you check out the poll. Hit it up. Let us know. Carrie Benz is in Chile. We call it Chile here in the Mississippi. Well, thanks for coming from there. Thanks for coming and joining us. Hope you got some good trades in yesterday, guys. We did the VIP live stream. Let's see on the day. I think we made about $500 on that live stream. Let's see where we finished on the day. I'm not even sure. Let's see. So we'll look at yesterday's cumulative total. It was just a scalp day. I was scalping on MEXC. MEXC.US. I will hit that in the chat right now for you guys. You can use the affiliate link in the description below. But let me spam the chat for you guys right there if you just want to use MEXC.US. Even though it ends in .US, you do not have to be in the US. MEXCTrading.US. There it is. I'm also trading on KCEX. Affiliate link below or above, KCEXTrading.com. You can go directly there. I just was scalping on. I'm already in a day trade. I'm in a day trade short on KCEX. So, you know, you can't have two shorts going at once on an exchange. You can have a short and a long, but not two shorts or two longs. So while I have that day trade running on KCEX, I've just been scalping on MEXC. So anyway, here we go. Here's what we had yesterday. Made about $1,200 yesterday. Not too bad. Coming off a big like 2,900 the day before. So pretty good day overall yesterday. $1,200. Did about half of that on the live stream here yesterday morning, and then the other half was done on the VIP live stream during the U.S. Power Hour. We opened that up with a big trade. I got into it right before. I think I made like 700 on that one. Opened that up right before, and then we had a handful of smaller scalp trades. It kind of died off after that big dumpola. Just kind of died. It's like everybody just gave up. Salt Chain got $250 in the KCEX competition yesterday. It was a good day. Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations. I haven't mentioned the KCEX competition, so if you go to either my affiliate link or KCEXTrading.com, KCEXTrading.com, and sign up, you're automatically entered into a competition they have every single day. And based upon your profit, P&L, you get ranked. You can win $50, $100, $1,000, whatever it is. I've won 500 multiple times for my ranking. I haven't done too well in the last week. As a matter of fact, I haven't ranked at all in the last week there because I'm in one trade. I'm in one trade, and I can't sit there and trade and rack up the profits. So that's why I've been on MEXC. So I've been out of the competition just because I don't want to. If I'm going to be in a scalp session, and I'm in a short, day trade short, I don't want to just go be able to long. Then I got a long, then I got to wait till it comes back down, look for another long, wait for it comes back down, look for another long. I want a long, and when it turns around, I want to short it back down. So I go on an exchange I don't have any open trades on, so I can do that. Otherwise, I'd still be kicking tail and taking names in the KCEX trading competition. Good Lord willing, of course. I know some of you guys have shown me your P&Ls from there. A lot of you guys have gotten big money from that KCEX competition. I've seen several of you with big dollars. U.S. market's opening here in just a few minutes. We'll take a look. You know, I'm not saying I'm always right, but it's happening just like I said a few days ago when we rallied up into this 98K region. Everybody was thinking 100K is next. Here we go, breakthrough. And I just told you guys, it's just not going to happen. We've never, ever, ever. Let me start this whole video off with the preface statement of, I understand because we've never done something before or because we've always done something before, it does not mean that's how it's going to be this time. But you just don't go against the trend, okay? You know, you're far better off if something is 90% but by trading or betting in that direction versus trying to buck it and go against the 10%, right? So we've never come to this area before ever and just blasted through. It's always taken at least a week to grind around and chop and consolidate it before breaking through or breaking down. You've never really just come to this and broken straight down that day either. So that's why I said I just highly doubt we get through 98K quickly. Relatively quickly anyway. So, and that's kind of what you're seeing. We came into this area on Tuesday. We pushed just a hair higher. We basically just took the high. But anyway, we've been in this area for 3 or 4 days now, and I anticipate being in this area for probably another week. Actually, probably mid next week sometime. I think we'll probably break out of here, but up to 2 weeks. We're going to cover that in just a second, though. We're going to cover that in just a second. The hardest part about trading or preparing for a trade is timing. You know, targets are fairly easy. I mean, you don't always get them right, or you certainly don't always get them to the dollar, but it's a lot easier than timing because you just never know with this bitter corn. This thing can get up and run today, or it could sit here and do nothing for a month. You just never know. You never know. But we can look at the trend. What has it done before? What has it historically done? Because it's been here multiple times. All right, guys. So, matter of fact, let's look at that right now. Let's kind of back up. I'm going to go to let's go to the 4 hour. Let's go look at that right now while the U.S. market opens in a minute. This won't take but a second. Just kind of go look. Where is our price? I've lost it. There it is. Here we are. All right, sorry, we're backing up to it. Here's our price right here in the middle. That's coming down from it. That's not applicable because we're coming up. But even still, you didn't break down from this area in one shot. You danced around it for about a week. But we're looking for when we came up into it as far as a breakthrough. Here you go. I thought I had marked all this out already. I guess I didn't. Oh, yeah, I did. I just had my turtles turned off. There we go. So we came up into it. This is the same area. You can see this line right here in the middle. I'll mark it out. This is where current price action in case you can't see. We're dinging. Something's going on. Oh, Bitcoin blasting off at U.S. market open, guys. No, it's not. Is it? Yes. Wow. 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 Let's go back and take a look at that. We'll come back to this. We missed this trade, didn't we? This could be good. Let's drop down the 5 minute. Look at that big candle right there before market open. Wow. Coming for that Asia high, guys. This might be shortable. I want to take this high, though. I want to take this high. Dang it. Mess it up my other screen. I want to take this high, and then I would look to short. We have not taken the high, though. My phone is dinging like crazy. Bjorn is good. These are all Bjorn alerts going off. Bjorn volatility kicking up. We didn't take the high, though, guys. This is a no trade for me. If we SFP this high, this Asia high right here, I would consider a short. Drop down to the 1 minute. Gotta love the U.S. Open. I have an alert set on this high, by the way. Surely that's not it. Surely they didn't come rally for that high and stop. We've got our big trade coming up, guys. Our big short trade, and I think it is much closer than most people think. Much. And I'm going to show you why in just a minute. Look at it. I love when Bitcoin rips $500 in like 1 minute. It's crazy. But you get the point. We don't have to go back and look at the historical area, right, that we're in currently. You kind of saw it, and I've covered it before. We never break through this area in one day, and it doesn't mean we can't. And we've been in it for, this is day 4 now. So we were looking for about a week to 2 weeks to break through this area or completely break down from it, one of the two. And I do think it will be a break to the upside. Now, it doesn't mean we can't come revisit some lower areas, a little retrace, a little back test of the breakout area, and then spring up to it. But I do think it'll probably be sometime next week before we break out of this area. So just probably mostly chop in this area for the next several days. But I wouldn't mind seeing this Asia low taken from earlier in the week right in here. Okay, this Asia low come down and back test this area about 94.2. This is our original high, right? Original swing high here. I wouldn't mind coming to back test that bullishly, take out the Asia low, and then spring up out of here. Whether that happens today or not, who knows? I kind of think it probably will. But certainly by Monday, the weekend's not going to give us much. But I'm really kind of ignoring this first box. I have it here because it is the little mini micro value area range, and this value area range is valid. If you go back and put the value area range on the previous several times that we were in this area, this is a pretty good value area range. So I have this box here in case we just come bounce the range for a little while, right? Just bounce this little range. But really, I'm looking for this box, okay? If we lose this box, I really think we're headed to 92K, okay? If we lose this box at about 94 to 94.3, somewhere in there, I definitely think we would sweep the Asia low at 94.4. Got a volume spike at 94.2. And I think if we lose this, guys, we're going to 92, and I think we're going fast, very fast. But ideally, an ideal trade setup, guys, would be to come here, bam, blast that Asia low, and then shoot way on up to our target at 99.5K. That's my target. I'm going to tell you why in a second. I'm just trying to get in this trade. If they give it to us, we're going to look for the reaction. If we get it, if they take Asia high, we're going to look for the reaction. It is not a blind trade. Because you can see, if you look at the, I know it's a small volume profile. I know. But if you take this Asia high and you don't immediately SFP it, you've got this big old volume gap right in there to the point of control, so you could come up to the point of control again. Either way it goes, guys, I do think we're going to break this range to the upside eventually, probably next week. I'm going to show you so much today. You got so much today. And I'm going to harp on some things that I've already covered. And it's only because this happens twice every 4 years, once on the way up, once on the way down. And these are you cannot find two bigger trades. And I want you to be prepared. And I want to show you what I'm looking for. And that doesn't mean I'm right. Mike came off. Let me start this part over. Here we're looking at CVD. I'm not sure how much you guys heard, but I got a new cord, by the way. It's right here. I just got to hook it up. I got a new cord. So since about December 20th, CVD's been going down while open interest has been going up, which means shorts have been coming in. Now, that doesn't mean every single hour of every single day it's just been shorts coming in, okay? There's some ebb and flows with long and shorts. But for the most part, overwhelmingly so, shorts are coming in. People are shorting this, expecting further downside to the bear market. However, look at price, guys. Since December 20th, since all these shorts started coming in, price has been going up, not down. Again, I know it went down this day. I know it's gone down the last couple. I know. But for the most part, price is trending up, okay? And this is a higher time frame. So what that means is you've got a big old whale sitting right here, and he is absorbing these shorts. He's not allowing them to push price down. And eventually, once his bags are full, he is going to move price up and liquidate those shorts, okay? That is how CVD divergence works, okay? This whale is down here holding up price. Price is trying to come down. It's banging into this whale. He's filling his bags. There's not enough shorts coming in to push him out of the way, right? So when the shorts finally give it up and this whale is still here, he's going to push price up, okay? So I do think this breaks to the upside, okay? So it is too soon, in my opinion, to go for the big macro short, okay? I think we have one more high coming. I do think that high is a lot closer than people think. I do not think we break 100K. Now, let me say, I don't really care if we break 100K. Breaking 100K or not breaking 100K, the 382, this and that, that is not my criteria for entering this short, okay? I'm going to show you that again, what that is, but I just don't think we get that high, and I have reasons behind that. First of all, we have our, let me zoom in here. We have our target up top. I've put it up there. I got the line here. I've had the red box. The dang red box has been sitting here for the longest time, okay? If we go to our fibs, our macro fib, first of all, our 382 is right here, okay? This is our 382, and I've shown historically how Bitcoin makes it to the 382 every single time about this time, but it never makes it to the 105. It's never made it to the 0.5, excuse me. Never made it to the 0.5, which is way up here. It's always made it somewhere in between the 382 and 0.5. And again, I preface this whole stream with it. Doesn't mean it has to happen this time, but every single time before it has. So where could we look to take this trade within the region of 382 to 0.5, within 98K to 103? Where could we look to take the trade? Okay, let's think about this. First of all, there's a big psychological barrier of 100K, okay? You're going to have tons of shorts just waiting there, tons of sell orders just waiting there, okay? Because a lot of people bought 100K because it's 100K. They're going to sell 100K to break even. It just is what it is. Let's throw on another fib here. All right, now we got the current fib that we're in with this kind of medium-term range we've been in for months, okay? We're in the golden pocket of that, or actually we rejected from the golden pocket of that now, but the next, the most common, I don't care what anybody tells you, the most common reversal area is the 702, okay? And that is exactly where my target is. It's the 702 of our medium-term time frame that we're currently in. It is about not quite halfway, but it is in between the 382 and the 0.5 fib. It is right there. Okay, that is my target. It is below the 100K because everybody's going to be eyeing 100K. Take profit, 100K, 100K, 100K. And I just don't think they give it to you. Just like last cycle, they topped out at what? Like everybody was eyeing 70K. They topped out at what? Like 69.5 or something. The cycle before that, everybody was eyeing 20K. They topped out at like 19.8, something like that. They don't usually give you that big, round, good number because they know that amateur traders, and I don't mean that offensively, but people who don't, people psychologically just think of the big round numbers, 100K, 50K, 120K, and professional traders think of things like 99.7K, front run you. That way you're left thinking, okay, 99.7, it pulls back 99, 98, I'm coming to 100, 96, I'm coming to 100, oh shoot. I'm selling at 90K now because I was waiting on 100K. So that's how it works, guys. Again, we could go to new all-time highs for all I know, but that's not how I'm playing it. Either way, that is not my entry criteria, though. That is just kind of what I'm looking for in general as far as price range goes, but I don't really care Matter of fact, I will make more money if it goes higher because I'll have a greater percentage to short down. So I would like it to go higher. I just don't think so. Now, let's take a look at something that most people don't show you, and I don't often look at either. I don't like it on smaller time frames. But let's look at and again, it doesn't have to play out this way, but let's look at, anyone ever use time-based fibs? Time-based fibs? I've already gone through and put these on the last cycle. I do like these on macro scales, and there is a trend here, okay? There's a trend. I'm going to turn these on. I've already marked them out. This is 2026. Let's go all the way back to the beginning here. The first cycle. Let's go look. I'm on the 2-day time frame, which is what I'm targeting everything on and all my criteria. All right, so what you do is there's a tool over here where your fibs are. It's called trend-based fib time, okay, right there. Throw it on the high, throw it on the low, and you double-click the low. So you put it on the high, take it to the low, and double-click that low, and it gives you this. And it's supposedly like an area where kind of like, it's just like the regular fib where you would look for price to go to the 618 and then turn around, okay? This shows you in time how far it should be before the correction is over, okay? And look at this first one. So from high to low, you throw the fib on, you came right. I'm not talking about the 382 on price, okay? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in time. Down below, you can see here we got the 382 in time also, okay? You turned around, and I mean exactly on the 382, okay? Boom. Turned around, that was the high from the rally, okay? From the bear market rally, that was the high at the 382, okay? Now, it's not exact every cycle. In fact, it gets longer every cycle. Let's look at the next cycle, okay? All right, here's the next cycle. We got the time-based fib thrown on. You come down, you pass the 382, and you turn around just before the 618, okay? So you went to 382 and then past the 382, almost to the 618. Okay, let's go look at the next cycle, the last cycle. So we're 382, we're almost 618. And then here in 2022, we got time-based fib on. So at first we were 382, then we were close to 618. Now we're close to 786. Okay, so you're getting longer in time on your correction or on your bounce. Why? Because Bitcoin is maturing as an asset. So it's less just boom, boom, just bounce it up real quick and drop it down real quick. It's getting a little more mature. So your price action is growing. It's not so volatile so quickly. It's maturing a little, so you're getting a little longer in time. So you went to the 382, you went almost to the 618, you went almost to the 786. You following me? Okay. Let's go to current cycle, okay? I don't believe we're done with this, okay? But we have passed the 786, okay? So 382, 618, 786, now we've passed it. The trend is sticking as it is taking longer on the correction, okay? So it's the same trend. I think we get, I'm sorry, it's not 786, it's the 1-to-1. 1-to-1. It was the 1-to-1 on the last one, not 786, so 1-to-1. The next fib line here is the 1.382, and you rarely exceed that on any correction. Rarely. That is pretty much the max. That is coming in on Friday, January. I'm sorry, that's coming in on Friday, January 23rd, so next Friday. Next Friday, guys. That's where the 1.382 is. Next Friday. I think we're a lot closer to being done than people think. A lot closer. Now, if it tops there, that is still not my entry signal. And I've harped on this, and I'm sorry to be so repetitive. I just don't want you to miss this trade because it's coming. And I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, guys. I'm going to do at least a $500,000 trade, if not a $1 million trade. I've already laid out my plan in Discord, how I'm going to do my separate trades. But let's take a look. So that's coming up next Friday. Okay, so we've got, let me turn these off. We've got what my criteria is. You already know this, but I'm looking for, and we're not fixing to go, I'll go show you one last cycle, the previous cycle, and then we'll look at this one. I've already shown this. There's a video. Go to my channel. There's a video I put out a couple days ago that explains all of this for every cycle and how the trend is exactly the same. And I do mean exactly. Okay, so my entry criteria is you guys know this, but you have one cross to the downside of the 5 and 55 on the 2-day EMA. Okay, 2-day EMA. 5 cross the downside of the 55. Come down 3 lows. 1, 2, 3. You get 2 to 3 bounces. This is the only cycle that had 3. There was 2 bounces before. We're working on bounce number 2 currently. The other 2 cycles had 2 bounces only. Okay, but the key is they all had this. Bitcoin came up to the 382, kind of wicked above it here. All of them did that. All of them. And that was all she wrote. That was it. But the key, here's the key, and then the entry, okay? The 55 crossed back above, the 5 crossed back above the 55, okay? Let me turn my orange line off again. I always do this. The 5, which is the white line, crossed back above the 55, okay? Okay, that is your be ready signal, okay? That is not your entry signal. That is your be ready signal, okay? What happens next is it comes on up, it comes down, and crosses back below. There is your go. And every single time that has been game over, okay? That's it. Boom. That is it. That's when the bulls hang it up, walk away, take their ball, and go home. That's the key. That's the key, guys. All right. So we have not yet, we're going to go look at it, but we have not yet gotten the cross back to the upside, okay? We've not even hit the 382. We've come close, but we've not gotten the cross back to the upside, but it is moving very fast. The 5 and 55 are almost touching now, okay? Let's go look at that real quick. And I'm preparing you because I don't want you to think we got 2-3 months left in this rally. I think we got 2 weeks tops. Three absolute tops, 3 weeks left in this rally. Absolute. Probably less than that. And then it's over. So you need to be positioned for your big short, in my opinion. I will be at least. Okay, so we got the 5 and the 55 here. And currently, 5 is coming in at 93.7. And the 55 is coming in at 96.4, so less than $3,000 away. Let me look. Yesterday, the 5 was at 92.9. Today, 93.7, so it moved up $1,000 yesterday. Okay. See, the day before that, it was at 90,900. Today, 93.7. It's moved up $3,000 in the last 2 days. It is only $3,000 away. Okay. But you don't just got to have them touch. You got to have them cross. Then it'll take it a few days to come back and come down and cross below. Well, Anthony, how long does it take for it to cross back below once it crosses? That is a good question. Let's take a look. All right. Flashbang. Boom. Days from the 2-day 5 cross over the 55 until it crosses back down. So we're looking for how many days it took once it crossed to the upside until it rolled back over and crossed down. Okay, in 2014, it took 72 days. That is ridiculous. Bitcoin was a brand new, much different asset back then. We showed that's the one that only made it to the 382 on the time-based fib. Things were just right? 2018, it took 12 days. 2022, it took 14 days. Much more mature asset, performing in a more mature, predictable manner. I expect that 72 days to me is a massive outlier. Could it happen again? Absolutely. It could take 365 days. I don't know. But I think the last 2 cycles are much more comparable to the cycle we're now, especially the last one. It's a mirror exact image of the cycle we're currently in. From the time you get that cross to the upside, you're looking, in my opinion, at a maximum of 2 weeks before it crosses back to the downside until we hit our key. Okay? And I know I've spent a lot of time on this, but that's because this is going to be you have an opportunity to make most people's yearly salary on one trade here, guys, in my opinion. Okay? Of course, that depends on your leverage and how much your margin is and all that kind of good stuff. But, and I'm going to show mine. I fully plan to make well over $100,000 just on this trade, and I'm going to show it. Bitcoin moving down, guys. Bitcoin moving down. But that's the key, and we're so close. It doesn't look that close on this chart, but it's only $3,000. You've moved $3,000 on the 5 EMA in the last 2 days. 3 days, excuse me. You're moving about $1,000 a day. Now, if price starts coming down, the move up on the 5 will slow, and you know, you probably won't get much on the weekend. So, based upon that information, how close it is, and the trend-based time fib, I think we're looking at late next week for this cross, guys. And then the time is ticking. You got about 2 weeks, in my opinion. So we're about 3 weeks away. 3 weeks away from entering that short, in my opinion. Okay, guys? So be ready. Be ready. Dagbjor, you're welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. And, of course, I will let the Anthony Lee Crypto crew, the VIP crew, know when I take this short. I'll let the entire live stream know, too. But I will shout it from the rooftops like a big old hallelujah, praise the Lord, when I enter the short. So there will be nobody who says they didn't know I took it. And I'll show it. I'm not just going to take it. I'm going to show it. Like, I don't show my little KCEX day trade because it's a pain for me to log into multiple accounts and when I'm trying to scalp. But when I have that trade going, I will have it up here permanently. Every stream, you'll see where the progress is. Every stream. Every stream. I can pull my KCEX one up. It's just a pain. I have to log in. And I do them from different VPNs. And so I got to log out of MEXC, change my VPN, log back in over here. Because I'm a conspiracy theorist and paranoid. So I usually just have one exchange up at one time. We had no news today, guys. There was a German CPI, but it was forecasted at 0. It came in at 0. There was no change. Not only did it meet target, there was no change. It didn't go up or down and meet target or miss target. And that's the only news today, so no news. So usually on no news days, a little lower volatility and just kind of chop, or the trend continues. And the trend is down for the last couple of days. I know we had the big uptrend, but the trend has just been kind of slow bleeding down for the last couple days. I do think this is a good day. We could just kind of dribble on down here and take out this Asia low and start the move to the upside. I don't think we get the move to the upside today, and certainly not over the weekend. I could be wrong. But I do think this is probably the play for the day right here. Although I really, really would have liked to have taken this Asia high from last night's session. That would have been beautiful. If we'd have taken that, I would have shorted and targeted right here. We got Asia low, UK low, another Asia low. None of this has been taken from the week. None of it. I do think it gets taken today. I do. So if I were to just blind enter a trade right here, I would short this. Although I'm waiting. I want to come see the Asia high get taken. Make sure we don't come to this volume gap and rotate back up to the value area high. I want to make sure. But I do think we get one of those moves today. Probably both. But if you're just looking to blind trade this, don't listen to me, but I would short it. I would target probably 94.4 at least, if not 94.2. It's not a big trade. $1,000 move. And then I wouldn't close it, because if you do lose this volume spike here around 94.2, 90, let's call it 94K. If you do lose that, I do think you're going to elevator down to 92K, and I mean fast. I mean, this is 94 to 92K right here. I think you come down equally as fast. That is about 2.5 hours. And of course, you find you got, some, should hopefully have some support right there. But yeah, I think you elevator down if you. I don't even like this box here. I don't even like that box there. I like it. I will look for the trade there. That is the SFP, the Asia low. I like that, but I'm not married to that box. I want to see the reaction. I want to see the divergences. And I'm not holding this trade. If we start to lose this box, I will cut it. Matter of fact, not only will I cut it, I'll flip short. Even though the short would really be up here, I would flip a breakdown short right here. Targeting 90, right here, 92K, excuse me. So either way, I'm looking for a short today. Short from here, or short from a loss of this box. A possible SFP. That's not right. Let me ignore everything I just said. I'm looking for a short from here, or a short from the breakdown here, or a possible long here if we bounce and don't break down, okay? Those are the only 3 trades I'm looking for. I'll short the breakdown, I will long the bounce with confluence, or I will short the SFP of the Asia high. That's what I'm looking for. Of course, we can still scalp in between, but those are the bigger, they're not even huge trades, but those are the bigger-ish trades I'm looking for. Anybody have any questions on that big short, macro short trade that we're looking for on the 2-day time frame? I do have other criteria I'm not going to cover today. I've covered it, and it's in VIP Discord. I'll be entering actually 3 trades with that big macro trade. That is my primary scenario. That will be my biggest trade. But I do have 2 other criteria that once met, I will enter 2 additional trades with different margins and different leverages, just so I'm protected, kind of protected. I could, they could all fail, but just so I'm more than anything psychologically, I want to let the big trade ride. I want to try to let it ride from entry to target without TPing. So in order to do that, and me to not psychologically want to just grab some profit on it, of course I'm going to have a stop loss. I'm not going to get liquidated, period. There's no way I'm going to lose that much money in one trade. Oh God, knock on wood. But in order for me to allow that to run and not take profit too soon and not close the trade too soon, I've got to have at least one, I'm going to go 2, but at least one separate trade running alongside it that I can take profit on. So I'm going to do it with 2 trades with 2 different criteria that I can take profit on both of those at different levels on the way down, so that if I do come back and get stopped out at break even on the big one, I've at least taken some profit on 2 additional trades. And I'm okay with that, because then I'll look to re-enter if I get stopped out and the criteria are met again. Moving down here, guys. Gosh, they did not give it to us here. We wanted this Asia high. They came so close to it too. I am amazed they didn't take it. 762. I mean, they missed about $60. That's nothing on Bitcoin. $60. That may be a good thing, guys. They may come take these lows and then boom, that's it. We can go ahead and start gravitating towards the upside. So, and we've covered the CVD divergence on the 4-hour, which is more confluence to why I think we're going to break this thing to the upside next week. I'll be looking for, which is even more reason that I would love to come down here and swoop this Asia low and not break down from it, see the reaction, see the divergences. I would enter a trade here with higher degree of confidence that we're headed up to our target area next week, and I could let this trade ride, right? And not just close it, not just scalp it. Because I have that big higher time frame CVD divergence confirming that we should be going to the upside. We got a couple big trades coming, guys. One major trade, but this one right here could be a good trade. This, if you get this, that's $5,000 to $6,000 move at least on Bitcoin. Guess Bitcoin getting a daily red dot. A little late for that. A little late for that. Thanos says just waiting for alts to pump and cash out. We're gonna take a look at that too. Let's take a look at that too. I think some bad news on that, guys. Good news and bad news. I want to cover something for you guys on the alts, because I know there's a lot of people, myself included, who are holding some alts and looking for this huge rally. Let's look over the dominance chart. I'm going to show you something that is kind of bad news, in my opinion. I think I was talking to Thanos the other day, and I showed the example. Hang on a second, guys. I'm going to pull this up, but I don't want to show Thanos this conversation. See if I can figure this out. There we go. It's important that you understand this, because I saw somebody at Twitter X'd something earlier today about Bitcoin dominance and about alts fixing a moon, and I'm like, what a moron. I mean, maybe I'm the moron. Maybe I posted this in chat. I thought it was a DM, but I think it maybe was chat. All right, here we go. Here we go. See if I can figure out how to turn the screen back on. There we go. All right. So we were talking about this. This is Bitcoin on the left, dominance in the middle, and Algorand on the right. Which I don't care if you hold Algorand. I use this as an example because it's your everyday John Q altcoin, right? You know, don't really care what you think about it. I'm sure your altcoin is better, but I'm comparing last cycle. Okay, I needed a coin that went back to that last cycle. That wasn't a super outlier one way or the other. That was just kind of average. Okay, because that's what we're going on. It's averages. So this is about the area that we were in last time. You can see this is the chart here with the 1, 2, 3 and the 3 drops and the 382, the rejection. Okay, this is where I think we are currently, but this is performance from last cycle. Okay, but I think this is the bounce area we're in currently. What happened during that time for dominance? Dominance started coming down, okay, just like it is now. And alts rallied, right? Alts rallied pretty good. This was, what is this, 65 cents to $1. So about a 50% rally on Algorand, okay? This is pretty good, right? But as soon as this was over and it was game over, macro short signal, blah, 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 everything we're looking for now. As soon as that was over, dominance flipped back up, okay? Look, dominance flipped back up while Bitcoin price started falling, okay? So dominance is going up, price is falling, and alts are absolutely crashing. I mean, this thing went from like, just in this screenshot, $1 down to 30 cents. And it's on the 2-day time frame. That's probably in about 2.5 months. Just big, like 60% dump right there, okay? So as soon as this little rally was over, yeah, your alts rallied, dominance was coming down. It looks exactly the same. We look at the chart, but it looks exactly like this now. Bitcoin price is rallying. Bitcoin dominance is fine. I know it kind of went up a little yesterday, but the trend is down. But as soon as Bitcoin topped on this pump, dominance flipped back to the upside. Your alts topped and absolutely ripped to the downside. So do not believe all that nonsense that when this dominance starts falling, alts are fixing a moon. They will not moon if Bitcoin rolls over and starts headed down to the bear market. They will not moon, okay? So don't believe all that nonsense. Let's look at dominance now. Here's the problem with dominance, okay, that we've never actually had happen before, okay? I'm on the monthly dominance time frame. You can see every time before, you've never gotten above this monthly 55 EMA. Never, 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 never. Even in the last cycle, you came up to it, you came close to it, back down, you came up to it. You wicked above it, but you did not hold above it. You immediately came back down, big crashola party, right? With this cycle, you did get above it. The first time ever you got above the 55, right? And you're still above it. We are under a Lionheart, and it does work the same way. We're under a Lionheart, the first ever Lionheart short entry on Bitcoin dominance, right? Where does that target give us? This 55 EMA that has, for the life of Bitcoin, never gotten above, other than a wick. Wicks don't count until now. So what does that tell you? This is extreme resistance and should be extreme support. This is the target for the Lionheart trade on the monthly. Would be here. We struggled to get above it for how many years here? 10 years or more than 10 years. Now we're above it. Our short entry signal is here, so we do expect some more downside to it, but I expect this 55 to hold, guys. I do not expect us to get into this volume gap. I would love it. I would absolutely freaking love it, but I don't expect us to get into that. I do not expect us to come down to this gap, not this cycle. And if we do come down to this gap, this cycle, If we do break through this and come down to this gap, I don't think it's going to matter whatsoever because Bitcoin should be dumping. Therefore, alts will be dumping. Just if Bitcoin is dumping 30%, alts may only dump 25%. They may dump a little bit less because dominance is coming down. But I don't think we hit this gap this cycle, guys. I don't know that we hit this gap again. This time is different. This time is not different for Bitcoin. This time is different for altcoins. That is the only difference. Everybody keeps saying this time is different. Oh, Bitcoin, ETF. No, it's not. It is not different at all. At all. I showed that to you yesterday. I'll show it to you right now one more time. It is not different at all. You can't find, you can't do it. I mean, if you can do it, you are the man. Show me how, this is the last cycle, show me how this looks any different than this. Show me. You come up, you come down, you do this little middle dance thing, you come back for another top. You double top with bear divs, you come down, you rally just before you come into this middle section, okay? Let's see. You come up, you come down, you do this little dance in the middle, you come up for a double top, bear divs, you come down, you're doing the bounce just before this middle. It's exact. Nothing has changed. The only thing that has changed is altcoins. Bitcoin dominance and altcoins. That's it. That's it. Bitcoin moving a little here, guys. I'd love to, if we come take that Asia high, I'm going to look to short. I'm going to look for reactions, though. But nothing has changed, guys. So do not get married to these altcoins. When Bitcoin tops here in the next 2 to 3 weeks, in my opinion, I am selling all of my bags. I don't care if they're at a loss. I will flip them into this big Bitcoin short and hopefully make that up and then some on the leveraged short. Okay? That's just how I'm playing it. I'm totally open to someone else's interpretation, but so far no one has shown me anything otherwise. And guys, I've got some large, I'm not bragging, I've got some large altcoin holdings. So I hope I'm wrong. I'm not just going to blind to sell them. I'm going to wait for that cross, okay? But I hope I'm wrong. I really, really do. But I'm not going to anticipate that. I'm not going to just hold on to blind hopium. I'm going to look at what has happened in the past, and I'm going to plan for that. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Great. Benefits me. Yeah, carry bins. 100. Listen. You get it. You get it. Look at that. Boom. I don't even know where my emoji went. I put an emoji here. There it is. You get it. You get the 100%. 100. Do not become exit liquidity for more experienced traders. Don't be the Jim Cramer victim. Oh, we're going to, ETH is going to 10K. Let's hold on, even though it's only at 3. Don't do that. Those guys win. Do you win every time? Do you win every time? Ask yourself that. Those guys win almost every single time. So why not think like they do? Stop thinking like you do. Stop thinking like I do. And let's think like they do. Okay? That's all you got to do. It's hard because it's not natural for us, but it is what it is. They're not in this to make you rich. To have a buyer, you have to have a seller. To have a seller, you have to have a buyer. They need you to buy so that they can sell. That's just the way it is. Say the Republic says they said that about ETH, that it was going to above 10K. ETH has never performed well and always fell way short. Yeah, ETH, no. You know, the only ones that really do those stupid, ridiculous gains anymore are the new trendy coins that, I don't know, that it's like trendy to like and pump. And I mean, I'm not knocking them. They make money and make tons of money. But anything with real world utility, for some reason, it's just, it's a different generation. People my age and older, like, we want something reliable, something that's going to be around, and that's just, those usually don't make you the quick bucks. And the kids these days, they want the quick bucks. And I get it. I would love the quick bucks. A lot of those, more of those go to zero than you hear about. That's the problem. You hear about all these ridiculous coins, and they're doing 1,000x in a week and blah, 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 blah. You hear about those. But you don't hear about the thousands and thousands of others just like it that went to absolute zero. You don't hear those stories, so you just think, oh, here's the next latest, greatest, trendy thing, let's jump on, and 99.9% of those go to zero and you lose everything. And every once in a while, there's the exception. But those news headlines, that's what gets people hooked. One more thing I want to cover with you guys. I've had several people reach out to me about this WorldCoin trade that I was in, okay? I made over $20,000 on this latest WorldCoin trade, okay? Spot trade. I showed it. I'm not going to pull it all up now. I've showed it multiple times here on the stream. I'm up over $20,000 on this trade, and I've been in it about 2.5 weeks, okay? How did I get in this trade, and why did I get in this trade, okay? I was actually talking with someone in Discord about this yesterday, and what I've done, you do what works best for you, but for me, I don't like to invest, or certainly if I'm if you're hodling, you're just buying some alts and holding them, that's cool. You want to buy 20 altcoins, diversified, great. Maybe some take off, maybe some don't. You know, I get it, but I'm talking to you spot traders, not hodlers. If you're looking to make money on spot trading, and you can make a lot. Again, in 2 weeks, I'm up over $20,000, proven and shown, taken on the stream, shown on the stream, up 20K. Here's how I did it. First of all, you got the great indicator, the Lionheart indicator, which is always one thing that I reference, but I took it a step further. So I went through, first of all, I chose 2 altcoins, 1, 2, only 2, okay, 2. I want to be an expert on 1 or 2 coins. I chose 2. I want to be an expert on 2 coins. So I this is going to sound gay, but so I kind of, I intimately know them. I know how they move. I know their patterns. I know their support and resistance like the back of my hand. I know things. If I have 20 coins, I can't keep, what was Solana's resistance again? I don't know. I thought that was Algorand's resistance. No, maybe that's what, you can't keep it up. But you intimately become familiar with 2 of them, and you don't have to be emotionally invested in them. You just know how they move. Okay, when this one breaks this resistance, you've got the next resistance here, support. You know them, okay? And then you trade them. You don't buy and hold them. You can, but you trade them. And so what I've done, I literally went through, and I'm going to show you. I went through. I took my little fancy notebook here. I went through. That's 1 page. I'm going to tell you what this is. And I make tens of thousands of dollars this way. Here's a couple more pages. I've got several pages like that I went through on 2 altcoins. I chose WorldCoin and Algorand. I like Algorand because it has a lot of historical data. It's been around. I think this is the 3rd cycle for it. So I can see historically a longer pattern. Okay, I like WorldCoin because I don't really care what you think about the chart. I don't care how high you think it's going in the next cycle or this cycle or what you think. I only care to trade it, okay? There's a big difference in trading and holding. Pay attention. You can make tens of thousands of dollars this way. So when most of the time when coins move, let's say Algorand moves, and I know there's some other coins. Your coin's probably great. Let's say Algorand moves 10%. WorldCoin's usually going to move about 25%. So I love trading it. Now, the chart looks terrible, because on the flip side, when Algorand dumps 10%, WorldCoin's going to dump 25%. So you got to get in and get out, right? But you can make a lot more money on WorldCoin when alts are just moving. And I know you can have some news break on algo, and it can rip up 300%. ICP did like 500 or 600% a few weeks ago out of nowhere. I get it. But I'm talking from a monthly, yearly trading standpoint. So what I did is I went through my little notebook, and I went back both bull run and bear market. And I plotted down, I said this wrong in Discord yesterday, but I jotted down all the stats for 5-day, 1 week, and 2 week green dots. That's it. Nothing else went into my search criteria, okay? So what I did is I wrote down how much, when you get the 5-day green dot, how much percentage did you get? And I went through every green dot, both in the bull market and the bear market, okay? How much did you get in the bull market? Okay, so in the bull market, let's say the 5-day green dot, you got during the first period, which is the first 5-day candle, maybe 15%. Okay, well, if you held on to it for a second candle, you got an additional 10%. And if you held on to it for a third candle, maybe you came down. So I figured out about how much percentage average for each you got, both in the bull market. Bull market, 5-day red dots, you got significantly more percentage gains than you did in the bear market, right? Because no pump is as big as you think it's going to be in the bear market, and it's always bigger than you think in the bull market, right? So I get the average. I got the high-low, how much it did the max this time, the low, 5-day, weekly, 2-weekly, okay? Those three. And then I wrote down about how many days it took from entry to top, right? So I kind of have that figured out. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to be that way every time, but I want the average. And if you go conservative when you do your entry, the conservative route will be to exit your trade at the minimum that it's ever done, because chances are, sure, it could be another minimum. It could set a new less percentage gain. But we're playing percentages, and if you play percentages, you're going to win over time. And that's all I did. That's all I did. And on WorldCoin, let's take a look. We got, first of all, I get the Lionheart indicator on here, which kind of backed up what I was looking for. There it is. So we got the daily Lionheart, right? We got the daily Lionheart. Pull up Cypher, got the daily Lionheart right back here. Okay, so that would have been a good entry signal for me, because I'm always trading the daily, 2-day, and 3-day Lionheart no matter what. I don't care what else is going on. I'm trading it. And then we go to the 5-day, and this is where I entered, because I've plotted the 5-day, the week, and the 2-week dots. We got the 5-day green dot right here. Boom. I entered right there. It was a red candle. I don't care. We got the 5-day green dot. We were under the daily Lionheart signal, but I entered on this I showed you when I did it. I pulled it up on stream. I said, we're just got a 5-day green dot on WorldCoin. I'm going to put $76,000 on the line, and I did. And I entered that, and since that point, from entry to the top, it was a 40% move. Simple as that. Just that freaking easy. That was it. And I knew that it was okay to do that because I'd already done the research. And you only have to do the research once. Once you got it, you got it. Then when you see the dang dot, flip back over to the WorldCoin page. And okay, this is about the percentage I can be looking for, approximately. And this is about how many days it took to play out. And that's it. That's it. And I'll do it every single time. And I will make, I hope, Lord willing, $20,000 to $25,000+ on each one of those. Now, you may only get 4 or 5 of those a year, but that's okay. That's okay. These are big moves. And that's all you do. That's it. It's simple. It is simple. So I highly suggest you guys do that. Pick out 2 altcoins. And why 2? Why not just one? Well, you get 2 opportunities. So WorldCoin may get the 5-day green dot today, but Algo may not. It may be 2 more weeks before Algo does, and about that time, you've already exited your WorldCoin trade, and here comes, because sometimes you'll see one coin pump, and a week or 2 later, your coin will sit there while WorldCoin's taking off, and Algo's just sitting there. About the time you're wanting to flip coins, that's about the time WorldCoin's turn around, and here comes Algo's 5-day green dot. Boom. Jump on that one. Ride that one up. Bitcoin dumping here, guys. Like to see a little lower get in our trade. But that's how you do it, guys. I hope that makes sense. It is so simple, it's stupid. I saw somebody the other day talking about Wall Street traders, like real day trade people, Wall Street type, and they had met a couple of them. And, we crypto guys are the worst. We're looking for this. Like, it came to this exact level. It did this. Oh, you got this huge divergence. You got da-da-da-da-da. And they were talking about it, and I believe this person. He said, I've met a couple of them. He said, I asked him, what's the secret? What do y'all do? And he said that they told him what they did, and he looked at him, and he was like, "It really? That's it? Like, it's that simple? Y'all keep it that simple?" We overcomplicate things. They don't. They don't. They look at the big picture. That's it. So that's what we've got to start doing on these bigger moves. Just don't overcomplicate it. Just keep it simple. Zoom out. That is the largest problem that I've ever struggled with besides psychology, which this helps a lot psychologically. Zoom out. Zoom out. Every time. Shove down a lower time frame and see what's going on here. We're razzling and dazzling. Let me know if you have any questions about altcoins, and if there's ones that you guys in Discord want to kind of go through, and I can help you kind of map them out. I don't mind doing some of the legwork, helping chart and come up with percentages and things. I'll be happy to do that if you don't want to do it. I might find me another hidden gem that I can trade. So let me know. I hope that makes sense, and I encourage you guys to try that strategy. I probably, and again, you're not going to make $20,000 on a trade if you start out with $500. I mean, I do start out with a larger balance. But for most of these, I target about 25%. Okay, 25%. For most of these dots. So if I can trade, a 50, I did 76,000, but if you can trade a $50,000 account, I know it's a lot for a lot of people. Maybe it's not very much for a lot of people, but you could easily make $10,000 a trade. Do that on 2 coins, 20 grand times 5 times a year, it's 100 grand. By doing it 5 times a year. Moving down, we are coming into the little mini micro value area range here now. We're in a green box, but I told you guys I don't really like this green box. It's here because of a possible SFP of the value area low only. I really like this box below. We have just taken out a daily naked point of control. I like the box below though. I'm not taking this trade right now. I don't see anything to indicate this is a good trade or that the downside is over, although it could be. I'm on the 90 minute. We have volatility headed up. We did just have a tick up in stochastic to the upside, so that's a feather in the cap of the longs here. But that's on the 90 minute. This might be worth firing off a long on. Let's give it a minute. Let's drop down. Let's look at the 6 minute. Blood diamond on the 6 minute. Getting a good bounce though. Took out one of the Asia lows. We are SFP in this value area low, guys. So if volume profile trading is your strategy, you should be in a long right now. Should we do it? Somebody put a 1 in the chat if they think we should long this. Speaking of chat, let's look at the poll. I want to see what everybody thinks. So the question is, what is your target for this Bitcoin rally? Overwhelmingly, it is 62% from 99 to 100K, and then pretty much everybody else is 100 to 110K. Very good. I'm in the camp. Y'all know where I am. Salt Chain thinks I should long this. Salt Chain thinks we should long this. Not sold on it yet. Look at these 3 Bjorn red dots in a row on Bjorn's 6 minute. $90-minute looks good for some upside coming. 90-minute looks really good, but it doesn't mean on the 1, 3, 6 minute you can't dance around here a little bit, but ultimately it looks like the 90-minute wants to give you some upside, a good bounce here, guys. Now this could certainly flip down. You have to watch it. But what it's telling me now, all the red dots and the dots in these lower time frames, we could have a little lower, maybe just kind of consolidate here. But unless that 90-minute flips around, we should expect some upside coming here. I would just really like this Asia low in this box right here first. Salt Chain says, but you can't blame me if it doesn't work out like yesterday with Carrie Benz. No, listen, I gave Carrie Benz a hard time, but she was right. I exited the trade too soon, but she was right. Nothing wrong with taking some profit. She was right, although I did exit way too soon. As soon as we ended the stream, I had just told you we got good bear divs here. This looks like a good long, but I didn't take it. And I mean, as soon as I exited the stream, I turned the lights off. I stood up. I was going to go eat, and ding, 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 ding. Things started going off. Bitcoin pumped like $2 grand in 3 minutes. I said I can't believe it. Exited that trade too soon. If we're going to enter this long, if we're not going to come down and take my box that I really want, we're in the first green box, guys. I think. Was there not another green box here? I just deleted that green box. There was a green box here. I had a green box here. I know I had a green box here. Let me refresh. There it is. We are in the green box, guys. It is just pushed over. We are in the green box. It's trying to get there. I just don't like this green box. And I told you guys at the beginning of the stream, I don't like this box as much as I like this other box. I think I just messed that up. I like this box a little better. But we are trying to hang on to the very low, so. Bull div on the 3 minute. Yeah, say the Republic. That's what I'm talking about, man. Bull div right there on the 3. It's unconfirmed, but it is. I do see it, but it's unconfirmed. If we come down to this lower box, you probably won't have the bull div. It is unconfirmed. So anyway, guys, that is how I spot trade my altcoins. I don't do the spot trade on the 4 hour or even the daily, 15 minute, none of that stuff. I don't do all that. It is 5 day and up, big moves. Most of the time I'm out within 2 periods. So on a 5 day, I'd be out within 10 days. Sometimes 1 period, so 1 5 day candle. Most of the time it's 2 periods. If you go out further than that, especially in the bear market, I don't think there's a scenario that 2 periods on whatever time frame it was in was better than getting out in the second period. Confirmed on the 1 minute. Well, this sure is headed the wrong way. It is headed for the UK low right now. This is the move we were looking for, guys. This is the move we were hoping for. I got my old trade finger ready over here. Taking a look, you're about to take the UK low. About to take the UK low. Could just SFP that. Like to come down and take this Asia low though. We're watching it, guys. We're going to get off in just a few minutes, but it'd be great to get a trade on stream. Stochastic trying to flip to the upside on the 1 minute. Might be tradable. We did take the UK low. You see that? We wicked through it. That may be all they wanted. If we get back into this value area range, I would probably enter a long. But I am not interested in a long from right here until we get back into the range. I would be more interested in a long if we took this Asia low. We're probably a good way. Let's check VWAP. We're probably a good ways away from VWAP right now. Oh yeah, VWAP's way up here, point of control. Man, when we lost the VWAP, we came down, didn't we? $1,000 drop. All right, guys, any questions on the alts or the criteria we're looking for the big macro dump coming up? I know there's a lot. There's a lot of information. It's big trades. But you just don't get these big opportunities very often. I know I harp on them. I beat the dead horse, but just want to make sure you guys are ready for them. Well, I'm going to have to get off here in just a few, guys, but you know what I'm looking for? I'm not interested in this. I am interested in the Asia low and the volume spike right here coming into the green box. If we can get that, I'd be interested if we get the reactions and the divergences. Otherwise, for a long, I would want to regain confirmation, not just wick into this. I'd want confirmation, regain this, probably get back above this daily naked point of control that's just been mitigated. I'd probably like to see a good closure above that before I would be interested in entering along. So I would long from here. I just want to be back in the zone first. Otherwise, I want to come see a good SFP down here with divergences. That's what I'm looking for, guys. But I do have to run. It was a good stream. I enjoyed being here with you guys. I'll be in Discord. I got to go run a couple errands, but I will be in Discord today. So let me know if you have any questions. Other than that,